Hi, everyone. Thanks for taking your time to attending the webinar for the EnJet solution. It's greatly appreciate that. Today, we're going to talk about the EnJet solution. And we're going to briefly talk about the wireless AP and bridge and what's the key pinpoint for the outdoor wireless. And we're going to talk about the EnJet outdoor AP ingenious over and what's the EnJet technology and what's the benefit for you. And we with the end we're gonna talk about some like network management software and the app. Again, if you cannot hear me, just type in the chat box. So just let me know. Okay, so what's the difference between wireless access point and wireless bridge? I just want to give you the basic stuff before we start to go to the granular detail. So, as you may already know, wireless access point is an equipment that enable you to connect the device which have Wi-Fi access to your wire network. And wireless bridge are usually used to extend the network coverage to the location physical cabling cannot reach. I think that's pretty clear, straightforward about the difference between AP and bridge. And what's the point-to-point and multiple point wireless? Because a lot of people may confuse, should I use point-to-point or point-to-multiple point? So wireless point-to-point, basically, you can enable the connection of two locations using wireless radio link. So wireless point to multiple point. So basically you distribute a radio signal from one location to multiple remote radios. Okay, so next you may curious, want to know what's the benefit for long range point to point or multiple point. So you can minimize the cable runs, you can avoid the permits. There's a long process for the permit, and no changing, is cost, and the most important, you saving time with the easy setup. Is pretty straightforward. Definitely you save the cost. So what is the typical application for point-to-point and multi-point network? So the typical application is connecting two or more buildings together to provide a single network. Or like a fiber replacement. Fiber is costs a lot, so you can use point-to-point to replace the fiber. And the most common one is the video surveillance system. A lot of people use point-to-point or point-to-point multiple point for the long-range surveillance. So and you can also use point-to-point to provide a temporary site link. For example, like construction, you just need a Wi-Fi from one to another point, so you can use point-to-point. Or you want to share the network resource with other location. And some application you may already know is like RV park, marina, or even use like digital signage. We have a customer use our point-to-point for the digital signage for years. That's the typical application for point-to-point and point-to-multiple point. If you have any question, you can leave in the end on the Q&A section. So I would love to answer all your question. Okay, what's the key pain point? So the key pain point is interference, obviously. So nothing is more frustrating for if your customer complaining about the like flaky wireless performance or spotty coverage or drop connection. So wireless network is most affected by wireless interference. So the symptoms such as like intermittent connectivity or unexpected disconnection or delay in connection, for example, or slow network speed. So because you may already know the air is shared by the transmitter, transmission by any device and the same frequency. So access point can cause the wireless interference. And wireless access point, you know, is sharing the same channel might interfere each other. So we're gonna talk about that later. So the effect of interference is highly depends on the strength of the transmission and the distance from the interferer. So some interference, I give you some a reason or example, like if you for the outdoor wireless interference, like physical obstacle, for example, tree or buildings or any other outdoor wireless appliance, it may cause the wireless interference. I'm sorry, excuse me. So wireless interference that occur during the transmission, it causes packet loss. So which force Wi-Fi doing like retransmission. So when you do retransmission, it slows the throughput and result in frustrating. Frustrating the performance for all the user sharing this particular AP. Okay, so how to beat the Wi-Fi interference with EnJet? Conventional Wi-Fi, the CSNA, CA, I'm gonna talk about in the next few slides, excuse me, and become very insufficient as the end of the wireless connection get further apart. So it's because one radio send the data and it wait for acknowledgement from the receiving radio. So if it doesn't hear the acknowledgement within a certain amount of time, the sending radio assume the data was lost or dropped and need to resend it. So you know the distance, the longer the distance, the more likely the sending radio won't get the acknowledgement in time. So what's the solution? Time division multiple access, TDMA, basically it divide the channel into time slot and synchronize between the sending and receiving radios. In effect, each radio send and receive on a schedule. So there's no waiting for acknowledgement we just mentioned about and no resending data. So the TDMA technique translate into longer range because it minimizes the wireless overhead and it is free up more bandwidth, a lot of bandwidth for the data transmission. It gives a signal greater range. So here we're gonna talk about what EnJet outdoor AP, bridge and AP engineers over. So you can see the slide. Here's the EnJet outdoor bridge. It's directional antenna, and we have the ENS 500 AC, ENH 500, N station AC, N station 5 AC. Everything is available by the end of this month, except the ENH 500 is coming soon. And you can see the NSRP is pretty aggressive. And we also have EnJet outdoor AP, is omnidirectional antenna. The model number is ENS 500 EXT AC. I want to show you the comparison table, so give you an idea for each model. Pretty much all the EnJet outdoor APM bridges, output power is 26 dBm, except the EnJ500 is a little bit higher, 27 dBm. And you can see the EIRP, and they have a high gain antenna, especially for end station phi and end station AC is 19 dBi. So the total EIRP is really high, and for the long range deployment. And for the first four ENS500 XT, ENS AC, ENS500 AC, ENJ500, and end station phi AC, we use the proprietary 24, except the end station AC is a standard. And for the end station AC, the secondary port can pass the PoE, so you can tethering IP surveillance camera and power. And we also show you the what's the degree for the each AP and what adapter you're using, just for your reference. And the operation mode is support. It's a little bit different when EnJet enable and EnJet disable. When EnJet disable, we have all the mode, and when EnJet enable, for the WDS, we have WDS AP and WDS station. So now we're going to talk about the EnJet technology. So CSNA, before we talk about TDNA, we want to give you some information about the CSNA. So CSNA is a carrier sense multiple access. CA is a collision avoidance. So before the node transmit data, for the CSNA, you check or listen to the median. So when the median is not busy, the node send the signal. But if it detect the median is used, it will back off and wait for random amount of time and try again. So it doesn't matter if your device or someone else's device are transmitting. So CSNA device detect this, and you will back off and wait to transmit. So CSNA CA try to prevent the collision before they happen. So you can see the diagram, just to give you an idea how CSNA works. So CSNA, the collision avoidance mechanism produce the latency when distance increase, and you will see the significant drop in the throughput when the distance of the link increase. That's a dilemma for the CSNA. So EnJet. So ingenious EnJet solution features time diffusion multiple access technology. So the CS, like we mentioned in the previous slide, the CSNA mechanism will cause a random back off, and when you detect the air is busy. But EnJet gives you advantage, especially in noise RF environment. So EnJet can eliminate the hidden nodes we're gonna talk about in the next slide, and also can fighting the interference. So with the EnJet turn on, the AP give every station a specific slot to transmit on, and the client will transmit regardless whether or not another system is transmitting. So this makes it more robust in noise environment. So from diagram, you can see each station is assigned a time slot during which is allowed to transmit. The station then transmit or receive only in their own time slot. So that's the EnJet technology. What's the key benefit for the EnJet? So the EnJet feature the TDNA technology, which is keep track of which station are active and split up the available airtime for those stations. So EnJet redistribute the dedicated time to active station. So the airtime is not waste. So it's optimize the maximum airtime efficiency. That's the key benefit for the EnJet technology. So avoid hidden node issue. So EnJet eliminate the issue of the hidden node. This is a huge benefit and allow the scaling of many more clients per access point when using L2.11 CSNA. So station in wireless network have a limited range. So it could be the participant in the network don't even recognize each other. So for example, like transmission can overlap in the at the receiving node. So meaning the data get lost. So both transmitter do not detect a collision and don't start a new delivery attempt. So CSNA CA alone cannot solve this problem, cannot solve hidden node problem. So which is why an optional extension was created, like as you may already familiar, is RTS, CTS, is so-called request to send and clear to send. But the RTS and CTS mechanism is being added to help alleviate this issue, but doesn't completely solve the problem. So it basically does a request to send and clear to send signal message, but this does also lower overall throughput. So TDNA create a time slice. Each station is allowed only to send in his time slice. This is effectively eliminate the hidden node issue. It doesn't matter if you can hear the other nodes or not. You can only send in your designated time slot. So the benefit for the EnJet, you can get steady uninterrupting streaming. So EnJet retain the maximum throughput even when distance increase, and EnJet retain the stable performance even when the node increase. But when I say node, it's a station. You can see on the diagram in the right, so you have more station, but the EnJet performance throughput still high. So EnJet also built in the quality of service, prioritize the voice and video transmission for strong uninterrupted streaming with low latency. We talk about all the EnJet benefit for the TDNA. Please also keep in mind all the EnJet outdoor AP is 11 AC Wave 2, which also supported beamforming and multi-user MIMO. So beamforming optimizes the antenna signal reception and reliability for the EnJet outdoor AP and bridge. And as far as the multi-user MIMO, you guys are already familiar with improve the performance and increase EnJet outdoor AP or bridge capacity. So that's the EnJet solution and EnJet Auto AP. Today I also want to kind of announce we will launch EnWiFi app. We're gonna have another webinar talk about the EnWiFi app specifically. So we will have the live demo for the EnWiFi app, so you can download from the iOS or Google Play. But currently the EnWiFi app only support EnJet Auto AP. So you need to make sure that use the right Auto AP, and moving forward we will support more model. Now, when I say more model, by meaning like all the model across the board. So what's the EnWiFi app? So EnWiFi app allow you to easily install, config, and manage EnJet Auto AP with intuitive EnWiFi mobile app. So with the EnWiFi app, you can easily configure a single. If you have a single AP, you can configure single. Or you have a group of EnJet Auto AP, you can add all the AP into the group. So view the status of your EnJet Auto, the wireless network in the glass, and quickly identify the healthy or offline EnJet Auto AP. So you can see all the throughput, all the device, and the radio information in granular detail from the EnWiFi app. Again, we're gonna have another webinar to talk about this in the few weeks. So EnJet Auto AP can also be managed by EasyMaster, which is our centralized network management software. As you may already know, it's on access point mode only. So EnGenius EasyMaster software, again, is a simple, it's very intuitive web-based interface, allow flexible EnJet Auto access point monitoring locally or remotely. So you can quickly and easily set up, manage, monitor, and troubleshoot multiple AP at the same time. So in addition to the EasyMaster software and EnWiFi app, you can also use the controller switch. As you may already know, the licensing-free AP network management tool built in the switch. So any EnGenius gigabit managed switch can manage up to 50 EnJet Auto access point, or even all our EnGenius access point. Okay, here is the partner benefit. I just want to let you know, I encourage you to join the partner, so you can start earning more from the EnGenius. Here's the link: partners.engeniustech.com. You can get all the resource, the training, Wi-Fi planner, even video, have a deal registration, all the benefit. Okay, that is all the information I'm gonna deliver today. Feel free to ask the question if you have any question on the Q&A section. You can also type in the chat. Sorry. So what's the range and bandwidth capacity your point-to-point multiple device? And so the range, as we our end station and all of the Auto AP is up to 5 miles, and you can for the bandwidth wise, it's 11 AC. The speed wise is 11 AC. Speed up to 867 is 11 AC Wave 2. Again, I just mentioned that we support multi-user MIMO and beamforming. So, and you can support more capacity because 11 AC Wave 2. Hope that answers your question. So the question is L2.11 AC using TDNA. So the AP we is 11 AC Wave 2 AP, but we implement our EnJet technology which is features TDNA. Okay, so the next question, I guess everybody leave the ask the question in the chat. Okay, up to 5 mile is reliable 5 mile. Okay, as I mentioned before, for the CSNA, if you have 5 mile range link, you might experience the one I just share in the webinar. You have a lot of wireless interference, and you will have a hidden node issue, right? And with the low latency, low throughput. So with the EnJet solution, you can have more higher bandwidth with the 5 mile range. The next question is, do you have partner price for Canada? I will have my channel marketing manager contact you for the detailed information for the Canada. Sorry. Is there any question regarding the EnJet technology? Okay. You see the TDNA open standard. TDNA can, our EnJet can work with our EnJet system, but the EnJet, what's the difference between ours and the competitors? Competitors can only use one mode, but our EnJet solution is selectable. By default, EnJet is enabled, which we use the TDNA technology. But if you, for some application, you still need to connect with a CSNA, you can always uncheck the EnJet option. So you can still connect to the CSNA device if you want to. So the next question is, how many 2 megapixel camera can I use per point? It really depends. It's very interesting. Even our partner, any partners, sales manager can answer that. No, not actually help a lot of customers for even like one per point to point, they use 4 or 5 2 megapixel camera. So the bandwidth wise, it is sufficient. I mean, it is enough because each camera, it won't take too much bandwidth. So yeah, hope that answers your question. Okay, I probably just for another minute or two. If you have any question, feel free to ask. I love to answer your question. Oh, that's a good question. I have a end station AC point to point. How do I deploy TDNA? So, the existing end station AC is still as CSNA and not compatible with the TDNA. So we're gonna launch a different hardware revision which support TDNA, and yeah, it's a version 3. I showed the model number. So yeah, you can it will be available by end of this month or early May, so you can get from your reseller. Okay. I have a survey that has many trips. Will that be the problem? Again, point to point, or point to point, multi-point, we need to make sure it's clear of line of sight. So if it's not clear line of sight, like I mentioned in the webinar, is obstacle like tree and building. It is equivalent to the wireless interference. So it kind of you will see the performance degradation. So even with EnJet technology, we still strongly recommend still line of sight for the best practice. For the EnH500 version 3, it will be available surely in June or July timeframe. The existing EnH500 is 11N, N300. It's not even 11 AC. So we will have the hardware revision to upgrade the EnH500 from the N to the AC, even AC wave 2 with TDNA with the same pricing. But again, we have a ENS500 AC, ENH500, and end station 5 AC, end station AC. It really depends on your application. You can have different, or your preference on the form factor, different form factor you can use. When you have more product understand the PoE, currently end station AC is the only product we support standard AO2.3 ATNF, and other outdoor we will still keep proprietary PoE. How many NVR can you run back to one building using? So if you, I encourage you to go to our case study section. We recently done in the Brooklyn. We have 79 end station AC, and we powering up 975 camera by using 79 end station AC. It is really successful case study, and it's still working seamlessly without any issue. So as far as the NVR camera, you don't have to worry. Yeah, it will work perfectly. So yeah, so like an existing ENS500 AC and 500 EXT AC, even N station 5 AC, N station IC currently don't support TDNA at the moment. So we will have hardware revision is coming like by the end of this month, April. And that the version 2 or version 3 will support TDNA feature, which is with the EnJet technology. So Mike, for your question, we can because it's more design question. I will make as our elite partner manager to contact you and understand more application. Maybe need your help to provide the map and all the details so we can discuss, we can decide, and then we can give it some recommendation. Okay, that is all the questions so far. Again, I don't want to, it is kind of long, more than an hour right now. So, actually 40 minutes, not too bad. But again, I want to appreciate for taking your time to attending the webinar. Thank you so much. Thanks for your business. Again, I want to let you guys know we have an EnWiFi app webinar coming next month. It's really intuitive Wi-Fi app you can use to quickly deploy not only EnJet outdoor and also all the engineers access point indoor and outdoor. So again, greatly appreciate your time. And if you have any question, you can feel free to send to the partner's email. I will contact you after the webinar if needed. Thank you. Bye bye.